Good morning, Dhyana. We can see you well.
Okay, good. Good morning, everybody. It's a joy to be with you. I'm on the phone today because the internet is a bit unstable where I am, but I'm really happy to be able to share with you this topic on the protection of God and gurus. Let's start with the prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, Guru Preceptors, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Guru Deva Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. Help us to stay in thy light, be uplifted in thy consciousness, and be channels for thee. Guide us, protect us, and bring us home to thee. Om Shanti Shanti. We have a song now, and then a video of Swamiji, and then we'll go forward on this very important topic of the protection of God and gurus in our lives.
The green summer fade and winter draw near. My Lord, in your presence I live without fear. Through tempest, through snows, through turbulent of your hand is my strength and my guide. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. The dancers will pass, the singing must end. I welcome the darkness with you for my friend. The green summer fade and winter draw near. My Lord, in your presence I live without fear. Through tempest, through snows, through turbulent time, the touch of your hand is my strength and my guide. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. The dancers will pass, the singing must end. I welcome the darkness with you for my friend.
And you know, cloister is a religious enclosure where monks or nuns live. Feel that wherever you go, you keep your cloister with you. Be cloistered in that thought of God. He will protect you. And sometimes that protection can mean a great deal, because many great trials are sent to us. But as Krishna says, know this, Arjuna, for certain. My devotee is never lost. Many times I saw this true in my own guru's life with his disciples. I remember a story that Norman told me one time. He was driving a big truck down Mount Washington, which is a very steep hill there. And at the bottom of the hill, it doesn't go all the way down, there's a very sharp U-turn, a sharp curve that you have to slow down very much to take this U-turn. There's another word for it, and I'm trying to remember, it doesn't matter. And all of a sudden, he put his foot down to the floor on the truck to slow down for that curve, and it just went all the way to the floor. The brakes had failed. And Norman wasn't afraid of death, but he just looked up here to my gurus, to our guru, and he said, "Is this what you want?" All of a sudden, he said, it was as if a hand was pushing on the hood of the truck, that big truck. Suddenly it came to a stop on that hill. And these things, I've heard so many stories and known so many stories and experienced so many stories. How many times he saves his disciples. God too will save you, because although he comes to you, yes, especially through a guru, yet he is always with you, and he will be with you to the extent that you are with him. I said to my guru once, will you be just as much with us after you leave the body as you are now? And he looked at me deeply. He said, for those who think me near, I will be near. And I have seen, thinking him near, he is near. So many things have just happened in the right way. And so many times things that could have been quite serious in a bad way were not. And I knew I was protected.
Good morning again, everybody. I'd like to start with a couple of great inspirational readings on protection from this book, Conversations with Yogananda. The first is about Dr. Lewis. Dr. Lewis told us this story. I was called away from the master's presence one Sunday evening on the telephone. To my serious concern, I learned that my daughter, Brenda, had just been stricken with convulsions. When the master heard this, he stepped briefly behind a screen. A few moments later, he emerged, smiling. "Don't worry, doctor," he told me. "She will be all right." Confidently, he added, "and she will never have another one." Brenda was completely cured. Moreover, she has never had another seizure. And one more brief excerpt. Often Yogananda said of his disciples, however, that they did have protection. Once, when someone in the colonies was hurt, the master said to him, "It would have been worse had you not been living here." I saw this also in the case of Claude Pastori, a child 6 years old who had come to Encinitas with his mother. Claude lost a finger in an accident. Afterward, the master said, I saw earlier a dark cloud around him. He was protected from a much more serious karma. We have to realize that, yes, the master's protection is there. Master said it himself, to those who think me near, I will be near. He also said the disciples will be protected. We know of many wonderful stories. There's one of Babaji who had a servant who was with him. He must have been linked with him deeply. And the servant went to an astrologer at that time. It was Shankara. And he said, tonight, your karma is such that you will die tonight. And the servant went back to Babaji. He was living at his residence then, and he told him what happened. And Babaji said, you go back and tell him it won't happen. And he said, well, he said it's going to happen tonight. He said, you go tell him it won't happen. And he went there and he told him, my guru or Babaji said, this will not happen. He said, this karma is so heavy. It has to happen. If it doesn't happen, I will come and take diksha from your guru myself. He went back, the servant, Babaji all night laid over. And I believe that meant he put his vibration, his protection over that man. Morning, he got up, all was well. He goes back over to Shankara. And Master said that's how Shankara took Kriya Diksha from Babaji. He came because he saw the power of that master. And we have to realize that that power is there. It's always there protecting us. And I was thinking this morning, the greatest sign of their protection is we're on the path. The greatest sign of their protection is wherever we were in our life, they brought us to the teachings, they brought us to the techniques, they brought us to the centers, they brought us to our gurus, they brought us to Kriya, they brought us to meditation. They took us out of the delusions that we were in. That is the greatest protection, that they took us away from the delusions of this world and brought us under their umbrella, under their aura, under their light, under their power, under their Shakti, so that we can get through this lifetime and find God. And when I came on the path, I didn't know anything about India and karma and reincarnation and miracles, all the miracles in the autobiography of a yogi and all the different things that Master spoke of. But he grabbed me, he took me from where I was. He took you from where you were, and he took me out of that. And he brought me to him, to this path, and then to Swamiji. I didn't know anything about a Swami and yoga and all these things. I lived in a yoga community. How? Because of Master's protection. He said, you go there. He guided me. He drew me there to a great yoga master, Swamiji, and to people who were practicing yoga, and we're energizing and doing kriya and serving. And that is the greatest sign of God and Guru's protection, that they took us out of the whole life of delusion that we just think what your life would have been. One problem after another, one delusion after another, one thing that you thought was going to make you happy that didn't, after another, over and over and over. And the Guru's, this lifetime, Master said, takes very, very, very good karma to even want to know God. We had that very good karma from other lifetimes. And so our masters brought us back to them, to be able to go forward and to keep moving forward, walking forward with them hand in hand, in their protection, in their light, through the delusions of this world. All you have to do is look outside, look at people's faces, look at their eyes are dead, or or sensual or desirous or heavy or moody, and you see a devotee, there's brightness in the eyes, there's a glow around the face, there's strength in them, there's hope. This is a sign of the master's protection. And if you need more signs, just read Autobiography of a Yogi, all the wonderful things. Rama raised from the dead, Swami Sri Teswarji healed from whatever the ailment he was, or he lost so many pounds and then he gained 50 pounds. And resurrection of Swami Sri Teswarji came back to his guru. Master healed from cholera, and Master's sister's legs healed. Master's grace. It goes on and on and on and on. And the stories from the new path. I don't know what it takes for people to believe. The new path has one after the other. And you remember the movie, The Answer, where this one boy, he was painting and he had this, he was painting the building, and he had a big, I think it was a whole bucket of paint, and he was, the ladder, because of the weight, was moving back away from the building. He was about to fall, probably to his death. And he just chanted Om, and he felt God's protection, and that ladder went straight back to the wall. And he was saved. And the wonderful story, Swamiji just told it, of the flatbed truck and many things. And Dr. Lewis sailing, Dr. Lewis' daughter healed, and Dr. Lewis was out sailing, and the seas got very choppy, and he was about to be his boat was about to be capsized, and he just thought of the guru. He put his focus, his will, his faith in the master and at the spiritual eye, and he felt the power of God, and his boat was just got back settled, and he was able to get back and to shore. His whole family was there on the shore, worried. They knew he was in trouble, and Master knew he was in trouble. That's the wonderful thing. Master was, they said he was pacing up and back where he was. He was reading a story on the sea, by the way, and he was pacing back and forth, going, doctor's in trouble, doctor's in trouble. I know, doctor's in trouble. He knew he had to help him. He helped him. It's no joke. He helps you. And Swamiji told us many stories that just help us to gain the faith. And the wonderful story Hari Krishna Ghosh told in Kolkata, a master on a boat with many people on the river. And somehow the boat started sinking. And all the people went, holy man, went to Master, holy man, save us, save us. And he said, no, I'm not going to save you. You pray to God. You pray to God. And what was coming through the gurus? God's power. And that boat rose back up, and those people were saved. And think of Master went to America. He prayed and prayed. He said, until my brain was about to split. I mean, how many people pray like that? They go, help, somebody, is anybody up there? And he said, I prayed and prayed, and that I would be protected. And then there was a knock at the door, and there was Babaji. And he said, you go to America, you will be protected. Such a wonderful, just all of these stories give us such faith. And the other side of it is we have to help ourselves. You can't just sit there hoping somebody's going to help you all the time. You have to energize, get your aura strong, do the superconscious living exercises, yoga postures, various practices, Mahamudra, do your kriyas properly, do the practices, serve, read the books, listen to the music, chant, go to the kirtan, get to the sangha, get online. You can't just say somebody's going to protect me. They won't. You have to help protect yourself. God helps those who protect themselves. And I remember another story coming to mind of a devotee in Gurgaon and a Kriyaban family, the husband and wife, and they took their family to Delhi from Gurgaon. They wanted to do some shopping or something, and they had a car protector in the car. And Swamiji said, he told some people in Africa they were having problems with hexes of all things. And he told someone to write them and say, put the pictures of the gurus around. They emanate light. Put the pictures, have a car protector, have a picture of Master in your wallet. When you travel, have a travel altar. I never go to a hotel without a travel altar right there in that room. They're emanating light. And so this man and his wife, they had a car protector. They park their car, they get out of the car to go where they're going to go, and a bus comes and just demolishes the car. Their car. They look back, their car's finished, but they weren't finished. They were still standing. Maybe they would have been in the car. I mean, we don't know. But as Master said, I read to you in that story, it would have been far worse. That's my mantra. It would have been far worse had I not been doing the practices, had I not been serving, had I not been going to the Sangha, had I not been chanting, had I not been praying, had I not been trying to serve my Guru, it would have been and it will be far worse. And the final story I'll end with today is magnificent stories. I love these stories. They so strengthen your faith. And this is the one of that boy, Kashi. When Master he had his school and he had some of the young boys with him. The first thing that he took them across a bridge and he asked them, do you believe in God? And they said, yes. Do you believe in God? And he had those boys crossing over that bridge, and then it was a shaky bridge. Nobody was harmed. Nobody fell in. And another teacher who didn't have the power of God tried the same thing. And there was an accident. You can't just say, oh, Master's here, he's protecting me. You have to strengthen yourself. Get a spine yourself. Get that Shakti flowing in yourself. And so the Master was with these boys in the school, and they were asking, what would they become? And this one boy, Kashi, Master told one boy, you will be successful in this. You will be another. You will be a monk, and you will marry whoever, whatever. And Kashi says, well, what about me? And Master says, you will die soon. And then no one else talked. And Master felt so bad. But it was the truth. It was the truth. And he kept telling the boy, stay in the ashram. Don't go out of the ashram. This is a dangerous time. Stay in the ashram. And so his parents came while Master was away, and they took him out. And that's when he died. And Master, he told the parents, you killed him. But what a wonderful story. Read it and reread it. And Master, the boy, part I didn't say earlier, is the boy went to Master and he said, please, when I die, if I die, when I die, please bring me back on the path. I think every one of us at some point have said that plea, please bring me back. And so Master said, no, I can't say that. How can I bring you back? And the boy kept on until Master said, okay, Divine Mother says it. If she allows me, I'll bring you back. And he made a promise to that boy. And the boy, after 6 months, I love these stories. After 6 months, Master said, I think my boy, Kashi, is going to be reborn. Now, what does that tell you? He brought him back. He didn't have him hanging around in the astral world. He brought him back because the boy wanted to be on the spiritual path. So Master, he goes around after the 6 months, and he's going through Calcutta, holding his hands up, and he's feeling, where's this boy? Where is this soul? I know he's coming back to earth. And he went to the home of a couple. And you can never get away with this in America, but I love India for this. He goes to the door and the woman, she's pregnant. And Master says, he tells him all about Kashi. And he's one of my disciples. I don't know what all he said, but you can only imagine. And they believed him. They believed him. Such a beautiful story. And they even gave him his old name, Kashi, back when he was born. And Master went back and he saw that boy when he was born. I don't know how old he was then, but Master said there was a great affinity there already from the past. And if he can do that with him, don't you think he's protecting you? Don't you think he's brought us back on the path? Don't you think he loves us? Don't you think he wants to help us? If we help ourselves and keep reaching, keep trying to get your aura strong, you should be just immersed in light all the time. Get those negative thoughts and attitudes, let them go. They just block the light. And I'm telling you frankly, they block the protection. You block yourself. As you rid yourself of that, do affirmations. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I'm living in that light. The divine presence fills me within and without. And just repeat over and over until you create, draw that light into yourself. Draw the protection. You can't just sit there and hope and pray. You've got to put the energy out to draw Master into you, his light, his joy, and his love. It's such a blissful feeling when you're in attunement with your guru. If you're protected or not, we are protected, but I remember Swamiji said clearly here in India, he said, Master said the disciples will be protected. But he said, that doesn't mean you won't die. Even when you die, Master said he'll protect you. He would come, or one of the gurus, and take you, escort you to the astral realms. So be in tune with the guru. Whatever he gives you, offer it to God. Do your best, and you will find that he, like he said, to those who think me near, I will be near. God bless you. And I'll ask Natendra to join me on the screen.
Thank you, Dhyanaji, for the inspiring stories. We have three questions, Dhyanaji. The first one you answered partly, but if you would want to add. So what do we have to do as disciples to draw the protection of our gurus? And does everyone gets protected equally?
I'm going to say this: be a true disciple. A true disciple is always drawing the guru's power, drawing the guru's blessings, drawing the guru's consciousness, drawing the guru's light, isn't it? Drawing the guru's joy. A true disciple is in tune with the guru. Once you get out of tune, that's when things go bad. And people talk to me, oh, Dhyanaji, this and that happened. I said, are you energizing? Well, I haven't done that for 3 months. I said, well, what do you expect? Are you doing your kriyas well? You'll love this one, Nitendra. I was out in Chennai recently, this past weekend, and someone said, in a big Kriyaban satsang workshop, that they travel a lot. They don't have time to do the practices. I said, gee, I think I travel more than anybody in this room. And then I asked him, I said, do you, when you're traveling, now tell me, do you still eat? Like regularly, you eat how you know? He said, oh yeah, I eat. I said, tell me this, do you sleep? He said, yeah, I sleep. I said, well, why can't you meditate then? So everybody has a reason why they can't, but it's because you don't want to. So don't expect the guru to help you when you don't feel like helping yourself. That's what I would say. Be a true disciple. Do everything in your power that you can. Of all these years since 1978, I cannot think of one time when I felt Master failed me then. I failed myself sometimes, but I never felt he didn't come. I prayed and nothing happened. So think about it. If you're there, of course he's going to be there. And we asked Swamiji before he left his body, we said, Swamiji, will you be able to help us as much later when you leave your body as you're helping us now? And he gave a very interesting answer. He said, I really hope so. And I thought, gee, what does that mean? You either are or you aren't. But he said, I really hope so. And as I meditated on that, I realized he was saying, of course, I'm going to be there. What about you? Are you going to be there? Now, what does that mean? Are you going to be in tune enough to get my help? Are we in tune enough to get Babaji's help, to get Master's help, to get Lahiri? Are we in tune enough? And if you're out of tune, tune in. Fix the holes in your life. If you're not energizing, energize. If you're not meditating, meditate. If you're not doing Kriya, do Kriya. If you're not serving, you need to be serving. If you're not at the satsang, you need to be there. Don't expect you're at home. I'm getting the vibration because I'm at home. Well, you get far more if you get out of the house and go to the center, isn't it? Go to Kriya. I mean, I went to Kriya every month for 14 years. Now that's some Shakti. Every month going to Kriya, you can't get people to go once a year. So you can't expect protection when you're not doing it yourself. And honestly, you can see if a person has light or not. You can see if the dark cloud around people. That's a dark cloud. Anything can happen. You've got to get rid of that and if you do the practices, you study the teachings, you're in the sangha, satsang, you do seva, you read the books, you listen to the music, you sing the chant, you will be protected. You do, and to the degree that you do, that's the degree of light that you have. It's pretty mathematical, I say.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. The other question, Dhyanaji, is that I feel that I am a reasonably sincere devotee and I do all the things that you're saying, praying, meditating, and follow the techniques. But still, I have a lot of challenges in my life. So, why is it so? Am I doing something wrong?
Challenges are good for you. Otherwise, you don't get strong. I have always had challenges, period. And then on the path, seemed like I had more. Do you not have karma to work out? Who's going to work out your karma? I think the bulk of it, the gurus are working out on our behalf. Like Master said in that reading, it would have been far worse. So every challenge would have been far worse. Sometimes you would have been killed if it hadn't been for Master. Sometimes this would have happened. And think of Jyotish and Daviji, their whole house burned down. The whole community burned down. But they built it up. And a lot of people who needed to leave, who weren't there for the right reasons, they left. So the community got more strong. It got more focused. The people who wanted to be there really they stayed. So it happens. But what do? You can't run from your karma. And when I think of that, Nitendra, and I think of the tapasya Swamiji went through and different ones to get Ananda India going, and I think of that fire at Ananda, it wasn't a personal fire for Jyotish and Daviji. It was Ananda. It was clearing the decks to get our work up and strong and moving forward. And people should be grateful for those who came before. And I see people who they're new and no, I don't want to serve. No, I'm just going to the satsang. But I see all of you on the front lines, the center leaders and people who are really serving. They're making the light of Ananda brighter. Let's keep that in mind. It's not individually, yes, but my whole thing, I've done you and other people, how can I help my guru's work? And every time you serve, every time you call somebody, every time you stand there and help people with which books to buy, every time you greet a new person, every time you're there in a class as a teacher's assistant or whatever, you're creating more light around Ananda and master's work. And it's a magnetic draw that draws people in. How do people come? If they came to Gurgaon and you had a sour look on your face, they would never come back. But they come and say, oh, this guy's happy, you know, and you see? So it makes a big difference.
Thank you so much, Dhanaji. One last question. Can you share some stories from your own life where you have felt the protection of masters and our gurus?
I have to see what time it is. Oh my God, because that's a big question. Oh, some stories. Well, I would say the biggest story, and most of you heard it, and I'll make it short, was when I came on the path, because I prayed and prayed one night, and the very next day, Master came. I didn't know him. I didn't know Guru. I knew nothing in this life. But the very next day, that was the first prayer I felt that God answered. I met somebody, I saw somebody meditating. I got a meditation book that day, and I saw somebody meditating. I just was shocked that that happened. I ran down and asked the guy, you know, what are you doing? I'll never forget. He says, well, I was meditating. I said, I'm just reading this, I'm reading. What book did they give me? He and his mother was 80 or something. Wonderful people. Then they gave me autobiography of a yogi. Now that was the greatest protection in my life, to have that. And then somebody there told me, oh, why don't you go meet Swami Kriyananda? I went and lived in the yoga community. What more protection did I need? You see, I got the teachings, I got Kriya, I got the techniques. So it wasn't one isolated thing. Oh, Master, how he protected me. He protected me then. He protected me for 45 years plus. He's protecting me now. I have no doubt about it. So I have full faith, and people should have full faith. Do your best and know the guru is ever trying to protect you. And I'll hold this picture of Master up. I hope you can see it okay.
Yes, Dhanaji.
Let's not ever forget, as he told Rajasi, where the power is coming from. It's God through the guru. God bless you all. And thank you, Natendra. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next time.